today at the Brilliant Blue Challenge. I'm Karen. I'm speaking to you from the unceded territory of the Wolastoqiyik people of the beautiful, bountiful Wolastoq River, also known as the St. John River in New Brunswick, Canada, North America, which is also known as Turtle Island. Today, we're going to learn a little bit about workforce warriors. So we were born out of the Future Skills Center. Workforce Warriors is a national, Indigenous, not-for-profit established to find innovative solutions to increase capacity, wellness, resilience, leadership, and sustainable careers for Canada's Indigenous population. We aim to build national community of practice for Indigenous excellence to help guide Canadians towards a more sustainable and indigenized model for all development. Using a holistic approach, Workforce Warriors put wellness at the core of everything that we do. We bring subject matter experts together to build capacity in our nation's Indigenous peoples and in industry to help indigenize through innovative projects that put Indigenous people out in front of industry advancements. At Workforce Warriors, we believe Indigenous innovation, two-eyed seeing, and an indigenized approach will benefit all people. We're going to talk a little bit more about indigenization and two-eyed seeing when we speak a little bit later in the agenda. With findings from our future skills research, we started developing an educational stream with guidance from Indigenous people from across Canada, as well as our elders, knowledge keepers, and guides. We developed educational programming from itty bitty all the way up to elder. We have an innovative music and visual arts program for children. That's how it started out, and it sort of expanded to a music program for the whole community. We have an innovative indigenized pathway to workforce with our will to succeed, will being work integrated learning, of course, and an elder capacity building program we call Elders Connect. You see the plus signs here in the age groups, and that's really to denote the fact that elders are woven throughout all of our programming. They're vital to initial programming, right from concept of idea, the research and development, and then the facilitation of programmings. So you see elders, wherever we do our music program, we bring along the elders as well. So one of the first programs we had with our music program was called a student-driven composition, a really emerging innovative tool in music education. Since we have a composer and a music specialist on staff, we partnered with an Indigenous teacher in Newfoundland whose grade 5 students actually composed their own song for the kindergarten students. We then translated that song with an elder, went back into the school, did all the language lessons, provided all the language labs. For many Indigenous students, at the end of the project, when we performed for the school, those kindergarten students, it was the first time those Indigenous students had spoken, sang, or heard their ancestral language. So for us to see the pride on the faces of the children through our music programming was really worth its weight in gold. Our Will to Succeed work integrated learning program is for ages 15 to 30, with Workforce Warriors focus on innovation and putting Indigenous people out in front of solutions. The Will to Succeed in renewables and electrical was an obvious fit, given especially the focus by Indigenous leadership across the country around climate change mitigation and sustainability. The Will to Succeed is not only a holistic program that surrounds the participant with wraparound supports and opportunities. Workforce Warriors meets everybody where they're at. That includes the employer and industry partner, and we become a really important part of the employer's team. We provide indigenized HR tools and mentorship and really help create a psychological safe space for Indigenous people in the Canadian workforce, basically. Like all our programming, we learned from experience. So the Will to Succeed started out as a little desktop, renewable challenge to a full scale 10 kilowatt solar farm that we gifted to community. And then the community members and students build and then go to work. Really beautiful program. It's not just about training programs and partnering with industry for workforce development. It's about uniquely curated programming for individuals. So we have individual Indigenous students, grade 12 students who are reaching out to me right now, and we're helping them on their path. And we continue to follow people through their career until they then become mentors and become a part of workforce warriors in a different capacity. So once you're a warrior, always a warrior type of thing. Our elders program, of course, the last note about our programming is really about connecting elders to one another for sharing knowledge across the country. It's also about connecting elders to younger people and younger knowledge keepers who are building their knowledge in the hopes of becoming elders themselves one day. And then, last thing I'll say about Elders Connect, the drum is the heartbeat of Indigenous country for Indigenous people. And as part of Elders Connect, we've gifted many class sets and drumming circle sets of drums and elder stipends and all the supports needed for people to build their own traditional drum. So far, we've gifted about 150 drums across the country. Additional services, last note before we get to Tully's welcome, hopefully, is that we do some consulting. So if there's any industry partners out there, we really work hand in hand to meet people where they're at, to help guide them through the indigenization process, to making their workplace a safer place, and to make place and space for Indigenous leadership at the table.